democracy. And we're once again giving our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard the resources they need to accomplish their mission and come home safe. And with that renewed American strength, I'm proud to say the United States is once again embracing our role as leader of the free world. As the President said just a few short hours ago from this podium, America is respected again. And with that respect, we're standing with our allies and we're standing up to our enemies. We've brought the rogue regime in North Korea to the negotiating table. We're standing strong to restore liberty and democracy in Venezuela. Our NATO allies are contributing more to our common defense than ever before, and we've taken the fight to radical Islamic terrorists on our terms on their soil. And under President Donald Trump, if the world knows nothing else, the world knows this: America stands with Israel. You know, it's the greatest honor of my life to serve as your vice president alongside a president who cares so deeply about the state of Israel. We stand with Israel today for the same reasons the American people have always stood with Israel. Her cause is our cause. Her values are our values. And her fight is our fight. We stand with Israel because we believe in right over wrong, in good over evil, in liberty over tyranny. President Trump promised that Israel would have the resources and the tools to defend itself by itself. And I'm proud to report that American support for the security of the state of Israel has never been stronger. And Israel's military is stronger than ever before. And we've taken action to strengthen Israel's position. President Trump promised to shut down the PLO office in Washington, D.C. if the Palestinian Authority refused to take immediate steps to stop funding terrorists who murder innocent Israeli civilians. And when the PLO refused, President Trump shut it down. And today, thanks to so many of you and thanks to the strong leadership of Senator Lindsey Graham, the Taylor Force Act is now the law of the land. When President Trump promised to cut off funding to anti-Israel agencies at the UN, he meant that too. And last year, the United States ended all U.S. contributions to UNRWA at the UN. And of course, last year, President Trump did what prior administrations had promised to do, what Congress had said America would do. He had the courage to do when he moved the American embassy to Jerusalem, the capital of the state of Israel. And as though all of that wasn't enough to form the strong ties between the United States and our most cherished ally, as Prime Minister Netanyahu said last month, he did it again. For 20 years after Israel's rebirth, Syria held the Golan Heights with its massive artillery. It held Israel hostage. That crucial region changed hands only after Israel won a war that was forced upon her. And for generations, leaders recognized the Golan Heights as critical to the strategic security of the state of Israel. But President Trump didn't just recognize that reality. He took action. And for the first time in 52 years, the President of the United States formally recognized Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Now, I want to assure you the President made these decisions in the best interests of the United States. But he also believed they were in the best interests of peace. Because a lasting peace can only be built on a foundation of truth. And I promise you, we will work for peace. We will pray for the peace of Jerusalem, that those who love her will be secure. I promise you, as discussions are underway, it may well require compromise. But under this president and this administration, the United States of America will never compromise the safety and security of the state of Israel. President Trump and I are proud to stand with all of you today, tomorrow, and always to strengthen the ties that bind the American people and the people of Israel. We've been standing with our allies, but as I said, we've also been standing up to our enemies, especially the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism, the Islamic Republic of Iran. And President Trump kept his word early in this administration when he withdrew the United States of America from the disastrous Iran nuclear deal. The Islamic Republic of Iran supports terrorist proxies. It fuels conflicts in the region. It plots terrorist attacks on European soil. And it openly advocates the destruction of the state of Israel. You know, in February, Karen and I stood and prayed at the Auschwitz-Birkenau Nazi death camp in Poland. It was our first time ever to visit that place. And it was a deeply moving experience. As we walked about those deserted grounds, we saw the gas chambers, the piles of personal effects, the little shoes. It reinforced our resolve that our answer to this unspeakable tragedy for this and every generation must be never again. Never again. Never again. I can assure you, under President Trump's leadership, America will continue to stand strong against Iran's malign influence and its threats. This president will also, and this administration will also, ensure that America will never allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. As I just reflected moments ago, history teaches that when an authoritarian regime breathes out vile anti-Semitic hatred and threats of violence, we must take them at their word. Anti-Semitism is not just wrong, it's evil. And anti-Semitism must be confronted wherever and whenever it arises, and it must be universally condemned. It's remarkable to think that last month Democrats in Congress could not bring themselves to unilaterally condemn anti-Semitic tropes that were distributed by one of their members. And last week, you deserve to know that nearly every Democrat member of the House of Representatives voted to block legislation that would reject the BDS movement. It's astonishing to think that the party of Harry Truman, which did so much to help create the state of Israel, has been co-opted by people who promote rank anti-Semitic rhetoric and work to undermine the broad American consensus of support for Israel. Anti-Semitism has no place in the Congress of the United States of America, and anyone who slanders those who support this historic alliance should never have a seat on the Foreign Affairs Committee of the House of Representatives. As you heard today at this very program, and I can assure you, under President Donald Trump's leadership, America will always stand with the Jewish people. We will always condemn anti-Semitism, and America will always stand with Israel. So in just 2 years under President Trump's leadership, from the world stage to here at home, America is winning again. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm not getting tired of it at all. But to keep on winning, the American people have a choice to make in the next year and a half. It's a choice of whether we let Democrats take America on a hard left turn and lose all the gains that we fought so hard to attain, or whether we re-elect a president who's fighting every day to make America great again. That's the choice. Now, I know the choice you'll make, but we need to make sure it's the choice that America makes. That America chooses more strength, more jobs, more security. And that America chooses 4 more years of President Donald Trump. The truth is, the stakes have never been higher, and the choice has never been clearer. And it won't be enough just to win the next election. We've got to win the next generation. You know, America was founded on a simple but profound principle. And that principle is freedom. But today, Democrats openly advocate an economic system that has impoverished millions around the world. And that system is socialism. But it was freedom, not socialism, that gave us the most prosperous economy in the history of the world. It was freedom, not socialism, that ended slavery, won 2 world wars, and stands today as the beacon of hope for the world. It was freedom, not socialism, that's moving us beyond the prejudices of the past to create a more perfect union and extend the blessings of liberty to every American, regardless of race or creed or color. And it was freedom, not socialism, that gave us the highest quality of life, the cleanest environment on earth, and improved the health and well-being of millions around the world. It was freedom. I mean, what Medicare for all really means is quality health care for none. And the only thing green about the so-called Green New Deal is how much green it's going to cost all of us if they ever sign it into law. You know, Margaret Thatcher probably said it best. The trouble with socialism is you eventually run out of other people's money. You know, the moment America becomes a socialist country is the moment America ceases to be America. And so we must say with one voice, as President Trump said to the nation, America will never be a socialist country. For the sake of our freedom, we must say no to socialism and yes to liberty, prosperity, and the pro-growth agenda that's improving the lives and opportunities for millions of Americans. But we can't do this alone. We need the RJC to step up as never before. That's why we both wanted to be here today. We need you to roll your sleeves up in the days ahead. Knock on the doors, make the phone calls. We need you to give of your time and your talent and your treasure to support this cause, because it's going to be a fight. Now, the conventional wisdom says that there's going to be a battle ahead. But I think you all know what President Trump thinks of conventional wisdom. We made history in 2016, and we're going to make history again in 2020 when we re-elect President Donald Trump to the White House. So I want to encourage you. Whatever you've done before, do more. Be ready to take our case to your neighbors and your friends across this nation. As you heard from the President today, we're ready for the fight. We're determined to keep building on the progress that we've made. My fellow Republicans, you know you elected a fighter in 2016 to be President of the United States, and I'm asking you to keep on fighting right through November 3rd, 2020. As the President said today, we are the party of all Americans. We're the party of the American worker. We're the party of the American family. And we're the party of the American dream. You know, David Perdue, just a few moments ago, said that some people think the President and I are a little bit different. And, you know, the truth is, he's big city, I'm small town. He's larger than life. I'm not. But the truth of the matter is, as I've gotten to know him and we've become close friends over the last several years, we actually have a lot in common. It's the American dream. You see, his grandfather immigrated to this country, and so did mine. His father built a business with his own two hands for his family, and so did his. Now, for him, the guy who describes himself as a kid from Queens, he went across the river to build the big buildings. I followed a career into public service. You know, I tell people, other than a whole lot of zeros, President Trump and I have a lot in common. A lot of zeros. And it's a belief in the American dream. Not because we heard about it, but because we've lived it. I mean, that Irish immigrant that I was named after, his Irish brogue still rings in my heart. The truth of the matter is, that's what our party's all about. When you see the passion of this president that you saw today at this very podium, and you see all that we've accomplished, I just want to assure you that it's animated because President Trump and I believe in the boundless capacity of every American to live the American dream. And we are going to keep fighting until that dream becomes a reality for every American family. That's what it's all about. That's the story we have to go and tell. We have to tell what we've done to strengthen our nation, make America more secure, tell what we've done to roll back taxes and regulations and unleash American energy, to strengthen the constitutional foundation of our courts and to stand tall in the world again. We have to go tell the story. Tell the story of all that Republican leadership has accomplished with your support over the last 2 years. And I truly believe that if we lay out the choice facing the American people in every moment that remains between now and November 3rd, 2020, if we hold the banner of freedom high, if we put into practice those ancient words inscribed on the Liberty Bell to proclaim liberty throughout all the land and unto all the inhabitants thereof, that the American people will rally to our cause. We will keep on winning. America will keep on growing. We will re-elect Republican leaders to offices all across the land, from state houses to the Congress. We will renew Republican majorities in the House and Senate, and we will re-elect President Trump for 4 more years. And with President Donald Trump in the White House, with renewed Republican leadership at every level, and with God's help, we will finish what we started. We will make America prosperous again, more prosperous than ever before. We will make America safe again, safer than ever before. And to borrow a phrase, we will make America great again. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
has been a senator from New Jersey for 5 years, and he has led a fight for justice Justice on many levels, economic justice, reforming criminal justice, making sure that people in his community and people throughout the United States have those things that we all think are important. We all need safe and secure communities. We all want access to health care. We all want access to good education. We all want to protect our environment. And Senator Booker has been a leader on many of these causes. So I ask you to join me in welcoming Senator Cory Booker.